Alrighty, Roo, and Kuka Kachu to you and all my nobodies not watching out there. I'm on night 2, officially. I guess it's like night 1 doesn't count because I could have fucked myself over so many times. Anyway, you open your eyes. The bed isn't warm. Does it matter? Like, that's one thing I always thought about the vampires. It's like, is that maybe if you have high humanity, the bed being warm would be comforting, but I just don't feel like it really would matter. The room is filled with artificial light from the ceiling. The solid metal door is closed. Normally, you'd stretch for a bit. On some mornings, you'd probably throw a quilt over yourself and snooze a moment longer. I mean, you're an artist, I guess. Like, nah, let's just... But it's morning, wouldn't it be even warmer depending on where the light's coming in? I don't know. But that was before, in the before times. The way you woke up now, you were fully conscious, no grogginess, nothing weighing you down, just the nagging need in the back of your head. So it's like, no, like, I gotta take a shower, get some coffee, don't talk to me before my coffee. It's just either literally like dead asleep, underline dead, capital letters, dead, asleep in quotes, or awake, conscious, unalive. Cool. Hunger. Not as severe as the last time, but unmistakably there. Just always... my head, I'm just thinking, like, that feeling, like, you know, like, everybody has a friend that's, like, no matter when you ask them, no matter if they just went to a buffet or ate or whatever, they're like, I could eat. They're always at least peckish, you know, at the least. Like, I just thought that the at least peckish consistently, like a continuously peckish thing, just, that was funny to me. I don't know. You get up and open the door to the main room. A digital clock on the TV shows you the time. 9:04. So I seem to wake up at 9. The only light is coming from the artificial nighttime. Like, seems like, I don't know what season we're in, but nighttime as 9? Maybe summer? Even then, like, it's pretty high in altitude for New York. Like, or not altitude, but latitude, I think. Latitude? No, longitude. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm not good at geography, and I'm not an almanac. Albertsons. McDonald's. I'm just saying shit. Moving on. So that's what your waking hours are going to look like from now. God damn, that sucks. Is that really when the, like it's 9 p.m.? Because, like, I'm kind of a night owl, and I do notice that I wake up more, like, later and stuff. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm so tired, I didn't get enough sleep, and then it starts to get later, and as soon as the sun goes down, I'm like, I'm not so tired anymore, now I want to sleep, but I can't. But I don't think it's like 9, even during the summer. I don't know, I'd have to look it up, but I still feel like it's somewhere between like 6 and maybe 8? But maybe the sun actually has to be gone. Like, it's like, no. Like, this isn't sunset, this is not that golden hour, but not early in the morning thing, the other side. Although I think they're both called the golden hour. Anyway, moving on. You're seriously considering just walking out of the apartment and figuring this all out by yourself, but then you come back to the memory of Kadir's exotic sword being raised in the gallery. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty confident your best hope for doing that would just be to GTFO, but I don't think you have the means or money. Like, you couldn't do that. Like, to do that, you'd have to be like, so I don't have to breathe. I'm just going to risk it. I'm just going to hop into the Atlantic and just, instead of hopping across the pond, as the English like to put it, just a short jaunt, a little hop across the pond. I'm going to walk. And it's like, I know enough about the ocean that is scary as hell. But maybe if you had a little bit going for you, you could, like, quickly break into a place that has some, like, you don't need scuba gear, you just need, like, those little things they use, the scuba divers use to sort of, like, get them farther. But the reality is it still would only get you, like, 10 hours in. And then, yeah. Also, I'm not really sure how subaquatic species feel about vampires, or if they'll eat them, or they're just going to be like a shark would just be like, I don't know, man. I bought all sorts, like, you'll find, like, license plates and shit inside of a fucking shark. You don't know. And what happens if a shark eats a vampire? Does it become undead? I don't know. Maybe. The actual reality is, it would be a terrible idea for a vampire to do that, because in the world of darkness there are were sharks, and so they would be pretty well fucked. So you might as well just figure it out here, because you're not likely to get transatlantic or somewhere else where they can't find you. They have, like, powers and stuff, and you don't even know. So you don't even know your own powers, bro. So let's just deal with it. Maybe sticking around isn't that bad an idea after all. Exactly. Let's just be happy. We got an apartment. We're safe from the sun. You know, can't talk to our family, friends, etc. But honestly, you really thought too much about, like, the whole, like, Call of the Void thing, dude. Like, while you're at an artistic show, you had to put, like, a loan. You had to get a loan to do it, I think. I think that was part of the canon. And, you keep jumping channels for around a half an hour and then switch to streaming services, almost as if the universe has a sense of irony. You catch True Blood in the flood of recommendations. But tisk. The doorbell. God, I do not like that sound. It's Sophie. Good evening, Tobias. Slept well? Like a baby, like a dead man. It's not exactly sleep, right? I'm gonna go with it's not exactly sleep, right? Because it's like that's me trying to commune with the nature of it. It's not really like normal sleep, is it? I suppose it isn't. Some say it's more like being dead, but we wouldn't know, would we? It's no use reflecting on it anyway, except that this is who you are now. That seems fair. I feel like all of them sort of end up the same way. You made the right choice yesterday. I can teach you many things about yourself. Your blood, its desires, and its power. We will begin tonight. You are hungry, yes? I'm sure you are. Our kind always is. There's only one remedy, the blood. The drinks we had yesterday at Elysium are not the usual way to slake your thirst. So, tonight, I will assist you in your first foray into hunting. You need to... Fuck, I lost. Cut. Stop. You need to learn to sense the kind of blood you desire. To understand how you can use the kind's vulnerabilities to your advantage. Alright, I mean, that seems pretty legit. Just trying to help me, like... It's not like my sire did that. They were just like... Hey, there's an emo girl behind the fucking couch. Have at it. Good luck, kid. Sorry about all this. Please don't think badly of me. It's like, wait, what? No more freebies? Put and pray, hon. I'm ready to learn. Well, I'm ready to learn. Let's get started. Such eagerness. Or is it just your hunger making you impatient? I feel like I didn't like the whole thing, and I'm still not cool with eating the I feel like I would have felt different about it if the girl with the NYC purple hoodie had not bared her neck. I think that's what really bothered me. It's like she was down for it and I ended her. And that's not cool to me. That's like definitely like violating something. But like this wasn't like somebody who was tied up and just like I couldn't help myself or something. It's like she knew what was happening and consented to some degree, and then I killed her, and I'm not cool with that. That's like, what the fuck, dude? Calm thine tits. You will find that drinking moderate amounts of it regularly will keep the hunger and the whispers of the beast at bay. You might think yourself monstrous, but there is a balance to be found here. The kiss gives the kind pleasure. You might remember this from your own embrace. I don't, actually. I'm pretty confident that I just sort of woke up being like, what the fuck happened? Some can even become addicted to the sensations, but if you do it right, they tend to misremember your feeding. Yeah, the whole feeding thing is sort of weird in the world of darkness. Sometimes you just like, you hear this, accept, and that sort of happens because you have powers to do it. Then you feed, and sometimes you seduce them, and you don't really have to push it, and sometimes you don't even have to push it. They just kind of fall into it. And then, you know, like, as long as you don't put them in, like, critical state, or kill them, or, like, scare them while you do it, you don't fucking go all, like, interview with a vampire. You're good, and they're just sort of like, hey, I said no hickeys. Oh, that actually feels real good. Then they're drooling, and then you don't feed too much, and you just let them, you just like lick the wound, it heals up, and they're just real tired the next day. They don't really fully remember you or what happened, and it doesn't require a lot of powers. Unless you're from one of the clans that has like a detriment where biting people hurts like biting people does. Or you don't even have like fangs that do the thing. That sucks too. Just imagine your human teeth if you don't have pointy canines just trying to bite somebody and like, you know? That sucks. Anyway, moving on. After all, vampires do not exist. They are myths, fairy tales, of pop culture mainstays. Correct? She gives you a sly, knowing smile. Little wink, nod, nod. Bob's your uncle. Word to your mother. That's why the masquerade is so important and even more crucial when you feed. Yet no. One fuck up in feeding could really cause some problems. You don't want to do that. How do you avoid being seen? How do you cover your tracks? How do you select a victim? Ooh, all very good questions. I'm gonna go with how do you cover your tracks? Because to me, that's the most valid thing. Assuming this person has they've only killed a person. But they said that you don't have to. But I feel like she's already going to tell me how to find a victim. And avoid being seen. I don't know my powers yet, but I don't know. That's a little meta thing there. Biting people leaves marks, right? And the victims remember your face. Like, exactly. Cover your trace. Like, yeah, you shouldn't concern yourself with leaving marks. These are easy to sense. You just need to bite carefully and then lick the punctures closed. That's all there is to it. Like, fucking for real. Like, nom, but don't, like, rar XD. And then I can just give a quick lick and we're done? That's it? As for being remembered, like I mentioned, the kiss is a static experience, so Khan can barely recall the details. It's like, it's sort of, so what, you bite them? Like, you're like, hey girl, let me whisper in your ear. Can I play with your panty line? And then you bite them. And they're just like, oh, dearie. My word. And then they're just gone. Like, you just dosed them with Molly and then lick their wound. And then they're still, like, just gone. And then you just dipset? What? And even when they do, this city is enormous. You could spend days on the streets and not see the same face twice. Use that to your advantage. I mean, that's true. It's New York. It's not like a small city. And even in a big city where you see certain people consistently, because you run in the same circles, you know, it is what it is. Feeding from the same area repeatedly can be dangerous, but by branching out, you risk the ire of other kindred whose domains you trespass. Luckily for you, you know, NYC is more forgiving in this regard. That's pretty cool. They're like, hey, there's a lot of us here. It's a big city. New York is in somewhat of a unique position. Many of its neighborhoods remain contested or unclaimed. The reason for this is a lesson for another time, but keep the following in mind. Take opportunities to feed when they present themselves. These upcoming nights, as you hunt cautiously and respect the masquerade at all times. You should be fine. It's like, look, New York City, there's a lot of gang wars going on. The Sharks and the Jets, it's been happening since, what? When did that happen? 1920s, 1950s? I don't know. Doesn't matter. To wit, I want you to join me for a trip tonight. Come downstairs. Gregory is waiting for us. His ass is like fucking playing Galaga. The busy street fills the air. Traffic noise, pedestrian chatter, and a mix of smells that disorient you momentarily. The warm bodies contain what you want. What you need. You catch yourself. Did you really just think of these people as mere sources of blood? Still blinking yellow, so maybe there's like construction going on? I don't know how it works in other places. But given the layout of this thing, it's one of those weird 5-pointed stoplight things areas. Because like there's like a triangular building here for the Radio City thing. Is that a Christmas tree? Could be. It's really skinny for a Christmas tree. Could be lights only. But it doesn't make sense that it's 9 o'clock p.m. when I wake up. But whatever, let's move on. It takes a nudge from Sophie to break your train of thought. Her driver opens the door for her and then tips his hat to you, gesturing to the back of the car. The car casually joins somewhat thin New York traffic. Still busy in a way with only one of the biggest cities in the world can be, but compared to the daytime commute, it's pleasant. You barely have the time to gather your thoughts and formulate new questions before the car comes to a stop. You're among the tall skyscrapers that make up Manhattan's iconic skyline. You feel a pang of emotion as you realize this is where you took part in the exhibition just 2 nights prior. Same address, and you suspect same halls. What ends is that to be repurposed tonight. That is kind of a Oh, now instead of Kadir staring at me, it's her. Oh, that's fun. Come, Tobias. Park the car, Gregory, will you? The driver just nods, and Sophie gets out. You join her, and the two of you... Why is he driving off? Through the cars and take the... It's like... It said park the car, don't peel off like you're in a fucking Fast and Furious fucking remake. Ass. Gregory. You first notice an empty stage with the instruments of string quartets still in back. Then take a few dozen chairs in front of it. They left their instruments? Are they community instruments for, like, they belong to the location? Because instruments are not cheap. You have to, like, musical instruments are expensive, and then you still have to, like, maintain and tune them in various ways. Every instrument requires its own little thing. At the very least, you're gonna have to, like, ting 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 ting. Like, you're gonna have to do all that shit. Back then, if you taken a few dozen chairs in front of it. The concert seemingly concluded. The patrons, all smartly dressed and posh, have spread out all over the hall. Sophie strides confidently inside, produces an invitation from her purse that she flashes in front of a security guard. You follow close and are let through without issue. Let's start easy. A social setting like this would certainly provide fuck. I lost my place. Hold on. Like this one would usually prove quite challenging to an inexperienced kindred, but consider this evening a small gift from your patron. She's like, hey, you're Toreador, I'm Toreador. You should be fine, and I feel like this is a better test than us just hunting somewhere, like, you know, those... I don't want to be rude, but lesser, you know, the unrefined ones. I'm hoping to procure for you a willing vessel. Just remember what I told you about taking small sips. This one I have a soft spot for. Don't damage her. Well, I damn well better not. Killed that emo girl. Or goth, tourist, runaway chick. I'm still messed up over that, okay? That's not cool. Now let's see here. There he is. She notices somebody in the crowd, flashes a heart-melting smile, and suddenly even you feel drawn to her. You haven't thought about it before, but it's laid clear before you in this moment. Sophie is beautiful. Just looking at her is a privilege. Just being with her makes you feel elated. Everybody in the crowd, but especially the man who's almost tripping over himself to reach her, clearly agrees. Edgar, I'm so happy to see you. How's your daughter? Is she with you? Oh, there she is. Julie, my girl, please. There's somebody I'd like you to meet. Oof. I don't know. But it is what it is. The young woman who walks across the hall can't be more than 19 years old. It's clear from her mismatched earring and the partial faded purple hair dye that she doesn't fit in this crowd. I don't know, they're trying to make me feel bad, or are they trying to make me feel like, she's proletariat, or what, I don't know. Julie, this is Tobias. I think the two of you should get acquainted while I talk business with your dad. Awfully boring stuff. I assure you, I'm positive you'll like each other. The girl gives you a shy smile and nods towards the balcony stairs. You follow, somewhat unsure what it is exactly Sophie expects you to do. I mean, bite her, but don't kill her. Is that so hard to get? You reach a secluded space from which the entire lobby is visible. All eyes are on Sophie. They listen intently, then laugh as she does. Julie saves you the trouble of figuring out the next step. Oh, wow, she's one of them. She hikes up her skirt, pulls that up. Never mind, I'm just going to leave it there. That's too much. I'm not happy, and I'm sad. Okay, moving on. If you're with Sophie, then I guess you're, I mean, that you... Oh, look at her character! She's got the little hair buns and everything. They said her purple hair was faded. Oh, I like her tattoo. It's a little space cat. It's got like a little... It's like a little Neko, but it's got like a little thing and there's stars around it. She's got a little heart choker. Freckles and a little bow beret that doesn't really fit her age. She's got a like a, what is that, a super heavy cross earring? Okay, interesting choice. Still, look at her. Ah! Wow. I'm maybe real pissed off at my character if he just eats her and just she dies. She puts her wrist to her lips and gives you a theatrical nip, then looks to you embarrassed, but also hopeful. So yeah, no, she's totally down. But so was the little goth tourist girl. I don't know what you're talking about. What, you're into that sort of thing? Like, I mean, why would I deny it? Let's just go for it. Yes. Yes, I do. She takes off her jacket, unbuttons her sleeve, and then rolls it up. You see a tattoo of a cat in an astronaut suit, one feline eye winking at you. Dope. There, just enjoy. Just please, character, don't kill her. A perfectly awkward smile and a blush. Come on, be cool. Contain yourself. You're not even that super hungry. But the food is there. You know, it's a free fucking. No, just drink. Just be. You're not famished. You should be good. You know what? I'm actually gonna stop because I'm afraid that I'm gonna kill Julie, and I don't want to kill Julie. Like, I should be fine not to kill Julie. Like, I don't have like any health ravenousness, but I'm not willing to risk it. I like her little tattoo and her whole character, and I'd much rather turn her down than end her life. So I'm gonna end this real quick and come back and save and all that.